Sponsors for Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation are Podcast Academy Online. Learn to podcast like an adult, built for the busy entrepreneur or the hobbyist. Visit our membership community at podcastacademyonline.com. And Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout, the easiest, best way to promote and track your podcast. Your show could be online, listed in all of the major directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Get your $20 Amazon gift card for signing up. The link is in the show notes. Welcome to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. This podcast was created for the boomer woman leaving corporate, and now you're looking to reinvent yourself, become an author, an entrepreneur, a podcaster. Well, each episode will leave you with clarity. You will come away with the yes, I can and yes, I will reinvent myself mindset. So come on, let's do this. I'm your host, Margot Levette. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Margot Levette, another episode of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Well, you know what? When we take a look at what's going on in the world these days, I'm bringing on a very special guest who's taking us back to the basics, and that is our why and our sole purpose. Today's guest believes that her work is to inspire, empower, and transform the lives of others. She helps them live an authentic, purpose-driven life, and there's no true success until we take full advantage of our why and sole purpose in life. Let me present to everybody my friend, mentor, and a lady that I hold in the highest esteem, Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. Welcome, Dr. Daphne.
Good morning, Sister Margot, and thanks again for this amazing opportunity.
Oh, well, you know what? Anytime we have a chance to get together and speak and share some goodness to the world, it's always a good day. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump right in. You are a intuitive business coach, speaker, and teacher. You've written 8 Amazon best-selling books. So it's not like I'm speaking with a novice or someone who is as my grandson says, a knockoff. You are none of that. Yeah, he always talking about these knockoffs. So if there's anybody who can really address why we need to first address our why and sole purpose as we move towards success, it's you. So can you tell me, how did you come to this idea that this is where it all begins for all of us if we're going to reinvent, if we are going to pivot, if we are going to move forward these days?
You see, Sister Margot, that's an amazing question, because if you remember back when I was on your show before, I mentioned that I lost my mother at the age of approximately 14 years old, 13 years and some months. So my entire life has been a life of reinvention and resilience. And now more than ever, we are facing a global pandemic, something that we did not ask for. So now, not only you and I as entrepreneurs, but everyone else under the sound of our voice have to position ourselves to pivot into our next level, our next dimension. I have been having conversation with some people that are saying, oh, I can't wait for things to get back. I said, don't hold your breath. Mm-hmm. What you need to now do is to embrace your new normal, whatever it looks like.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Growing up in Jamaica, and although I was a nurse, I did it differently. But even when I was a nurse, I had what now they are now labeling as a side hustle. I was going to Miami, buying clothes and going back selling the uniforms and things to the nurses and the curtains and the bedspreads. I was reinventing myself to bring me extra income. I never sat around to ask people, you think I should do this? As a matter of fact, even before I knew what my inner GPS and blueprint was, I was listening to my gut feeling. I never told anybody because I was embarrassed about it. It was not the religious thing to do. It was not the Christian thing to do. So who dare me to mention I am guided by my intuitiveness? I did not. It wasn't until I began working with Dr. Miles Monroe, God bless his soul, as my mentor and coach. And Dr. Miles said to me, Daphne, you cannot keep running from yourself. Hear me good, he says. Everywhere you go, Daphne goes with you. He said, my sister, begin to listen to your heart and stop listening to your head, because that is what is holding you back. Although he told me that, although I respected him, Sister Margot, I was not really out of the closet. I'm just being vulnerable because somebody is listening to us now who needs to hear that. It took me 2 hospitalizations, 2 serious hospitalizations, and for the Spirit to wake me up in the middle of the night in my hospital bed and tell me I need to follow through on that gifting because I am holding up other people from birthing what they were born for. So out of those 2 revelations, birth the Claiming Your Why and Soul Purpose event.
That is amazing. And to have the opportunity to have worked and been mentored by Dr. Miles Monroe, that alone is a pure blessing.
Thank you.
So you stepped into your work after 2 hospitalizations, and now here we are in 2020, and you are continuing that work. So I want you to take a moment and tell us about this event that you are presenting to the world. I know that we are up under COVID-19, so you've moved to a digital platform, but tell us about the Why and Soul Purpose event that you are planning, that you have, that, well, it's really ready to go.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that question. So, the latter part of last year, 2019, I was hospitalized with a stroke. The only part of my well-being that was affected was my speech. And the second day when the neurologist came back to see me, I was admitted in a teaching hospital. And when the neurologist came, he came with the team of medical students because he was going to use my diagnosis as a teaching moment. So when he came and he greeted me, my sister, I greeted him without any slurring. His eyes popped open. He looked at my name above my head and he said to me, who is this? What's your name? I repeated my name. He said, what happened? I said, I don't know. And I said, this is me, 100% and in living colors. I remember the day before, though, he had asked me what was my line of work. And I told him. So when he asked me what happened when he came back with the students, he said to me, did you tell me that you are a speaker? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, listen to me. You go out there and you speak like you have never spoken before. That was affirmation that God spared my voice for me to speak in his people. So I came into 2020 understanding that my work is taking on a whole new level and platform. I was out of the closet. I was not hiding my gift as an intuitive again. I was going to stay big and bold and unapologetic.
Yes.
I know I am not for everybody, but those who I am for will embrace and accept me.
Yes.
So I was discharged out of the hospital and I was sent to a speech therapist. And she told me that I will need to come to speech therapy 3 times a week for 90 days. When I went to the desk, the receptionist only gave me 3 appointments. And I was looking at it, heading to my car and fussing. And I said, why she gave me 3 appointments? I have to put my life on hold. I can't even plan ahead to know when I'm coming to therapy. However, I went back for appointment 2. And the therapist said to me, I know I said 90 days. However, please hold off. You have one more appointment. Do not make any more appointment until you see me on Friday. So I said, okay, ma'am. Went back on Friday. She did the evaluation that she had done on my first visit over. And she said, she closed her laptop. She said, you don't have to come back because all the tests I did on you when you came the first day, you are at 100% level. If I had met you on the street, I would not have known you had a stroke.
Yes. Yes.
And that was my stamp of approval that I need to go out and speak. I didn't know that pandemic was going to hit. I didn't know that COVID was going to come. I didn't know that we were going to be in quarantine. However, as I went to the drawing board and start to work on what it is I'm going to present, I remember for years I have been speaking about claiming your why in business.
Mm-hmm.
So the Spirit said, this is what the people need now. And I wrote it down. I put the claiming your why and soul purpose. I realized that what we want now, because we are all unique, and we need to claim that and embrace it and stop comparing ourselves to others. So I reached out to some people that was in my network who I know support my work. I told them I was doing this. I selected the first 2 people to speak on the event. And then I said, Holy Spirit, select the other people. I want a minimum of 25. The Spirit said, go on LinkedIn. People that I did not know for years. I went in, I told them what I was doing, and in less than an hour, they said yes. I started with a list of 39 people saying yes.
Wow.
And we narrowed it down because I wanted to remove Daphne out of the equation. I said, Holy Spirit, you do the work. This is all about you. I want your people to hear from thought leaders from across the world. We started off with people from Australia, India, Canada, entire USA. And as I do the intake, the Spirit would say, check X, check X, check X. And I even had one of a brother who I've come to know very well. When he saw me put the event out, he messaged me and he said, I thought we were family. How could you have this event and not invite me to speak? I said, because everyone on the platform was divinely selected. I did not select them. And Sister Margot, all the message are on point.
Yes. I
One,
believe that.
oh, I tell you, people are just coming. I sit to do the interviews and I'm saying, oh my God. And for me now, I start beating up on myself saying, I am so sorry I held myself back for so long. Oops.
Wow. Look at the fruit of being unapologetic about your gift. You are an intuitive, and
Yes,
you have every right and reason to listen to the Holy Spirit and
yes,
move
ma'am.
accordingly. And so you could have buckled under the questioning from your brother, but you said you stated your fact. The Holy Spirit didn't put you on that list. And if he was a man of integrity, he would have backed down and said, well, I'm so glad that didn't push my way on there. I'm not supposed to be there.
Exactly.
So I think the moral of the story, as I listen to all of this, is that you have to listen to your gut. You have to listen to spirit. Some people
Yes.
say universe, but we are in an age and in a place where we are not operating by ourselves. And if you
No.
are, that is questionable to me. That's very
Yes,
questionable.
because we are a spiritual being having a human experience. But
Yes.
a lot of times we get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
We think we are human power, but we are a spiritual being. And that's what we need to embrace and to stay true to. I'm glad you mentioned about the gut feeling. It's funny that every time if something that is not so positive happen, you'll hear people say, oh, I had a feeling in my gut,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they are looking to begin to point fingers and to blame. However, when they are embarking on something to better their lives, instead of paying attention to that same gut feeling, which I now identify and label and refer to as our human GPS. Human GPS. This is what is guiding us. But as people, we do not pay attention. We keep going to people who have not done anything with their own lives to ask their opinion. How can I tell you what to do with your life if I have not done anything with my own?
Yes.
Listen to our God. We have the first GPS that was ever manufactured and created, the human GPS. And if we ignite it, if we switch it on, which is what our why do, it flips the switch of our human GPS, and then it begins to download our inner blueprint for success.
Yes.
My blueprint doesn't look like yours, and vice versa. However, when we print out our inner blueprint for success, we can come together, we can collaborate, we can do joint ventures without feeling threatened
Mm-hmm.
and feel like we are copying and taking each other's stuff.
You said a mouthful right there. That's the reason why there's this sideline jealousy, this undercutting all the time. And sometimes it's overt, sometimes it's just covert, but there's no need for it to be there. How many times have I heard people say there is more than enough for everybody? And sure, Dr. Daphne, I believe that with all my heart.
Oh, Sister Margot, there's more than enough. Listen to me. You and I have a daddy who is not experienced recession. He
Yes.
has more than enough. And if we are going around manifesting a lack, it's simple because we are defiant and we have not pulled up our table, our chair to the banquet table to devour what is ours.
Yes.
Because there's a spot at the banquet table for us. Our
Yes.
meal is served. It is always there. For as many times as we have not pulled up at the table to dine, there is a dish there for us. There's a space there for us. So I want the people to hear now. Don't sit around waiting on pandemic to finish and COVID to finish. Tap into your inner blueprint for success. Ignite. If you can go back to when you were a kid, most of us, we remember grown-ups always ask you, so Margot, what you want to be when you grow up? We always want to be the biggest things, right? We
Yes.
became adults, and guess what? We allow people to talk us out of that. This is what I want folks to do, to go back, reignite those earlier stages of all the things you wanted. They are lying inside dormant. Now is the time for you to start it over. If you make velvet cake, make it. There are millions of people out there who don't know how to bake velvet cake and they love it.
Mm-hmm.
This is your time.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
interviewing somebody the other day and she said, oh, my mom is making masks. Her mom used to be a designer who is retired. And her mom did not want to see a sewing machine again. But what happened? Now she gets the opportunity to start a whole different line of things.
Yes. Yes.
So look inside. Turn your GPS on. The same way you don't drive out your garage unless you go on Google or you turn your GPS on. We need to do the same thing for our lives.
Yes. Yes. Dr. Daphne, you could say so much more, but I don't want to overload people. What I want to do is make sure that they flip on that GPS and they find their way to the Why and Soul Purpose event. So tell us more about that. First of all, where can a person purchase their ticket? Give us the date, the time. Give us all of those important details.
Okay, well, the Claiming Your Why and Soul Purpose Summit is a gift to you. My 20 thought leaders and plus myself 21, we are gifting it to you. So the summit is free. You can sign up at bit.ly, bit.ly claim your why. So it's https:// claim, no, bit.ly claim your why. Just click on that. It takes you to the landing page. You go through, you can read about all the speakers. And we go live on the 27th, which is Monday coming.
And
And
that's July 27th?
excuse me, thank you, July 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we go live. So in order to get your information, you need to register. You're welcome to share the link to register with other people who you feel need it. And even if you don't feel they need it, share it with them, because during this time, people are embarrassed to ask for help.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
So again, it's bit.ly/claim your why.
Okay. Dr. Daphne, now for a person that misses that date, will there be an opportunity to purchase the event later as a replay, or how will that work out?
Yes, there is also, once they are registered, they will also get the information that they could own all 21 broadcasts as the library, and they can go back and listen to it over and over and over again.
Okay. I'm taking note of that, and I'll definitely have all of this information in the show notes. Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, it is a pleasure to have this conversation with you. I know I'm tuning in there with the Why and Soul Purpose with 21 thought leaders concerning our why and our soul purpose. Surely there's something in there for everyone who is supposed to be there. So thank you so much for your time, for being obedient to the Spirit, for opening this up for free. So people are totally without excuse. So gosh, what can I say? You're going to have to listen to this conversation again. But in the meantime, what your call to action right after you listen to this conversation is to go and make sure that you register. That is the magic word, register, so that the 27th of July, you are ready and present and accounted for there with the Why and Soul Purpose. And you know what?
27th through the 31st. Okay, it's 5 days.
Through the 31st. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And since podcasts are evergreen, I'm sure that if you listen to this podcast over after the 31st is over, if you reach out to Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson, and I will have her LinkedIn information, reach out to her, you'll still have opportunity to, get this information. So nothing is lost. If you listen to this episode next year, nothing is lost. And it's
nothing is lost.
Information that's needed.
Yes.
So, Dr. Clarke-Hudson, we are talkers, but I'm going to let you end us up with one final thought, please.
Now is your time to claim your why and soul purpose. Each and every one of us came into this world for a specific task. And it is sad that many people leave this world without ever taking responsibility of what their task is. My mentor and coach, Dr. Miles Monroe, always says, the richest place in the earth is the graveyard, because people die with all their dreams. I am beseeching you, don't be one of those people who take your gifting and talents to the graveyard. Take this opportunity to live your best life now, and you will be glad. You will be writing Sister Margot and telling her, thanks for having this episode that opens up this world for you. So look forward to seeing you on the summit.
Sounds good to me, Dr. Daphne. Thank you. And wow, I'm not going to try to add one more word, except I'm Margot Levette, her business, her voice, her conversation. Thanks for listening. And I will see you at the Why and Soul Purpose. We'll meet up there as we're all listening. And thank you, Dr. Daphne. Everybody, I'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Her business, her voice, her conversation. In the meantime, stay safe and bye-bye. I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.